we'll see what is hyperparameter tuning. What is the meaning of hyperparameter tuning? We have already gone through with the what is the meaning of hyperparameter tuning. As of now, any doubts in hyperparameter tuning? As of now, any doubts in hyperparameter tuning? Tell me, guys. As of now, any doubts in hyperparameter tuning? As of now, okay. So, as we know that hyperparameter tuning is nothing but parameter tuning is nothing but you have to adjust some parameters you have to adjust automatically that parameters. So which all parameters we have to taken care about? First parameters we have to take care n underscore neighbors. First parameters we have to take care of n underscore neighbors. Which one is this first parameters you have to take care? Neighbors. Which one? Neighbors. Neighbor. First parameters you have to take care of neighbors. Then second parameters you have to take care of which one? Algorithms. Algo. So in algorithms we have a algorithms. We have algorithms is brute force is there. Then KD tree is there. Then we have a brute force is there, KD tree is there, and then ball tree is there. Then next parameters we have to tuning. Weight is. So in weight we have a uniform weight. We have a uniform weight, and next one is distance. Next one is distance. Then we have to take care of p values. If p is equals to 2, it will say like a Euclidean distance. And if p is equals to 1, it will be taking care of Minkowski. It is taking care of Manhattan, right? Next one is if so we have a n neighbors. First parameters we have algorithms, we have a weight, we have a p equal to 3. Then we have a, tell me guys, we have a leaf also. Leaf underscore size is also. What is the meaning of leaf underscore size? This will be only applicable for KD tree and ball tree. If algorithms is such as KD tree and ball tree, then leaf underscore size will be adjusted. KD tree and ball tree, it will be only applicable for KD tree and ball tree. So we can see here, let's suppose I want to import here which one? From sklearn I want to import from sklearn select. Let me copy here because I don't want to waste my time. I want to execute the all codes one at a time. Okay. So we can see here we have a sklearn.neighbors. I want to import k neighbors classifier. I want to show here k neighbors. I want to know that k neighbors classifier. Here we can see the parameters which is affected is neighbors, weight, algorithm, leaf size, p. So I want to, what is the meaning of hyperparameter is? The meaning of hyperparameters is we have to tuning using these parameters. I don't know which parameters will be which parameters values will we give a best model? We don't know. Either let's suppose we write here n numbers equal to 2 is the best, n numbers is equals to 4 is the best. We don't know. We don't know uniform is the best or distance is best. We don't know which algorithm is best suitable, brute force is best suitable, or ball tree is best suitable, or ball tree and KDT is best suitable. We don't know which leaf size is best suitable. 30 is best suitable, or 40 is best suitable, or 20 is best suitable. We don't know P is equal to 1 is best suitable for our model, or P is equal to 1 is best suitable for our model. So for this, before fitting the model, there is concept is called hyperparameter tuning is there. Hyperparameter tuning is there. Hyperparameters tuning is there. So as we know that how we use, so first method is I already described. We have a methods. One is your own code. First method is you can write your own code. Second one is we have a GridsearchCV. Third one is we have a random search CV. So first one is you can write your own code. But you can see how tedious jobs for writing your own code, because today we have only 5 parameters we can write the code, but tomorrow, let's suppose today we have only 5 parameters we can write uniform distance, we can write 3 or 4 for loop, and we can adjust. That's okay. But let's suppose tomorrow you have a 20 parameters. So should you write? Can you write tomorrow you have a 20 parameters? So can you write 20 for loop? No, you cannot write 20 for loop. You cannot write 20 for loop. So which one is the best? So for this we have some algorithm is called grid search algorithm is already there. On previous session, on yesterday, I have already described what is GridsearchCV. So best is GridsearchCV you should write. Then after you have to fit your model. So today I will describe here. GridsearchCV, how to write import sklearn import sklearn dot model selection. Which one? Import sklearn dot model selection from import sklearn. Sorry, you have to write from sklearn that is dot model selection. Then you have to write import which one? GridsearchCV. So you can see here, this is nothing but this is just like a model selection. Earlier we are using which one? Train and test. Earlier we are using train and test split. Now I am using GridsearchCV. In GridsearchCV, we are good with I will describe today one by one what is estimator, what is CV. So what is the meaning of estimator? Estimator is estimator is nothing but estimator, you can see here what is the meaning of estimator object. This is assumed to implement the sklearn estimator interface. Either estimator needs to provide a score function or a scoring must be passed. What is the meaning of estimator here? Estimator is nothing but algorithms. Estimator is nothing but algorithms. So first you have to pass even though you can see here once you calling this GridsearchCV, once you are calling this GridsearchCV, in previous session I described here, once you are calling this GridsearchCV and creating, so you are passing here KNN. This KNN is nothing but this is the estimator. This kn is nothing but first parameter you are passing. This kn is nothing but what is estimator. What estimator you have to use? You have to use k-never classifier you are using. What is the meaning of that kn is? We have already created the object in a slice k-never classifier. If you scroll up and you can see here, the meaning of KNN, where one second, where I in slide feed them. Yeah, this is the KNN. K-never classifier. KNN is created. So estimator means nothing but algorithms. Estimator means if you want to search a general terms, estimator here, estimator. So in estimator. So you can see here what is the meaning of estimator is. Estimator is a rules or calculating an estimate of given quantity based on observed data. So this is nothing but this is all about algorithms. Estimator is nothing but all about algorithms. Got it. So first one is estimator. You are pretty much clear about what is estimator. Next one is parameter grid. Whatever parameters we have to tuning, this is called parameter grid. Let's suppose today in our estimator you can see there is 5 parameters. We need to tuning. Which one? We need to tuning n neighbors, we need to tuning algorithms, we need to tuning weight, we need to tuning p equal to p values, we need to tuning leaf size. So this is nothing but our parameter grids. So we can see here in our line of codes, we can see here what values we are passing in param_grid. I want to show you. Okay, I want to show you. Let me show. Yeah. In param_grid, I'm passing here n number as neighbors. Tomorrow I want to pass another key also. This key is called weight. We can pass here WEIGST weight, and in this weight we can pass the values like which one? Uniform, and second values we can pass here. Second values you can pass here distance. That means what number of parameters you want to tuning, that all the parameters you can pass into the param_grid. You can pass this param_grid. So as of now, we are pretty much clear about these two parameters in grid search. First one is estimator and the param grid. Estimator and param grid. You are getting my point. Estimator and param grid. Then we'll see scoring. Before going to scoring, we'll see what is the meaning of CV. Before going to script, we'll see what is the meaning of CV here. What is the meaning of CV? So the meaning of what is the meaning of CV is nothing but we can see cross validation. What is the meaning of CV is nothing but cross validation. What is the meaning of CV is nothing but cross validation. What is the meaning of cross validation? I would like to describe one analogy here. Let's suppose I'm a doctor. Okay. Let's suppose I'm a doctor. I know I'm a doctor. Let's suppose I'm a doctor and I need to do some patient operation. 150 patient is in my operation theater. 150 patient in my operation theater, right? So generally I want to do some experience. I want to do some experience to operate on entire 150 patient. Instead of doing earlier, what happened before going to that analogy, I want to describe earlier what happened in our iris data set. We have a 150 data. We have a 150 data. Among of this 150 data, only I trained 105 and rest 45 data I'm trying to test. Let's suppose, forget about that doctor analogy. Let's suppose I am your teacher. I know 100%. I know 100%, but in training, I'm giving only, and in my I know 100% entire thing. Okay, I know 100% machine learning, but in our training, I'm giving only 70%. I'm giving only 70%. Okay, and 30% whatever I'm trying to test, that is unseen data. That is unseen data. That is I never trained you. I want to test on the previous record, but I never trained you. So is it fair or not? Is it fair? I know 100%, but I'm giving only 70% training. Is it fair, or I should give 100% training? No, man. It's so why in grid search CV also, what happened like it said like earlier we selected the model select. Earlier we selected the model selection is GridsearchCV. No, test and train is split. Train and test split is there. Train and test split is there. Guys, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, Maniskar. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So we can see we have a 150 data, and in 150 data I'm giving training of 105 only, and rest I'm taking test. So in GridsearchCV, it says like a, let me open the whiteboard. In GridsearchCV it says like a, let's suppose we have a 5 unit of data, or consider like a 6 unit of data. Let's suppose in this 6 unit of data, I divided this 6 into the two parts. This is the part 1, this is the part 2, and this is the part 3. This is the part 3. This is the part 3. In GridsearchCV, what happened earlier? What happened like earlier in test and train, I'm involving P1 and P2. Earlier, I'm involving P1 and P2 into the training data. P1 and P2 into the training data, and P3, and I'm trying to test P3. This was the earlier approach. This was the earlier approach. So here now approach has been changed. I want to give entire data to training. I want to involve all data into training, so that because be careful, listen carefully, because we don't know. Let's suppose I'm passing here P1 and P2 as a training and testing P3. Our model is giving 98% accuracy. But let's suppose I want to involve P2 and P3 into a training and try to test P1. So my model is given 99% accuracy. 99% accuracy. Even though in real life also, let's suppose I'm giving 70% training and 30% I'm testing. Maybe that test question is very hard. So the test question is very hard. So you will be perform only 60% accuracy. Somehow in your real time exam also, some students knows all the answer, even though that because they learned that earlier, so they can easily give the answer. But you are unaware about that questions earlier, and you have to apply your thought process at the same time. So maybe you will be give only 50% correct answer and 50% wrong answer. You are getting my point. You are getting my point. But here what happened, we are trying to apply here in cross validation. Instead of following train and test, I want to split this data into this way. Let me describe. I want to describe P1. We have a P1, we have a P2, and we have a P3. I divided my data into the three portion. First one is P1, then P2, then P3. P1, P2, and P3. P1, P2, and P3. Right. So my approach is what happened, like first I will train P1. First I will train P1, and I will involve P2 and P3 for testing. Right. First I will train P1, and then I will involve P2 and P3 into the testing. Then this is called first. There is one concept is there, fold, K fold. So first time our algorithms comes and our control comes, and it will give the training of P1 data, and on the basis of that P2 and P3 will be tested. Then next control I will take P2 as a training data, and I will involve P1 and P3 as a testing. Next, I will involve P3 as a training data, and then I will involve P1 and P2 as a testing. You are getting my point. So this is the way. Now this is the way all our data involves training also and testing also. So this is the right approach. But this will give, and on the basis of that we'll find a better accuracy. And then we'll say this is our fitted data, and this is our 98%. My model is giving 98% accuracy, 99% accuracy. So once you go through with what is the meaning of CV, you can see what is the meaning of CV. You can see here, CV is nothing but this is the cross validation. This is the cross validation generator or iterable, one by one. Determine the cross validation splitting strategy. That means what is the meaning of earlier will directly guys, give me 1 minute. So we can see here we have a cross validation splitting strategy. In this cross validation splitting strategy is nothing but earlier we have a train test splitting. We will split here cross validation. Possible input of CVR. First one is none, to use the default third fold cross validation. Third fold cross validation means it will be created 3 times. Third folds cross validation by default. That means first will be, this is the K1. In K1 it will take P1 as a training data and P2 and P3 as a testing data. Then in K2, second fold, in K2, let's suppose it is taking P2 as a training data and P1 and P3 as a testing data. In third fold, let's suppose it will taking P3 as a training data and P1 and P2 as a testing data. So that entire data will involve into training and testing. Earlier, what happened? Only 70% data will give the training and 30% unseen data will take a testing. But now we are mix up the data. All the data will go through with the training and testing. You are getting my point. As of now, any doubts? As of now, any doubts? Tell me. As of now, any doubts? So this is the meaning of training and testing. This is the meaning of training and testing. This is the meaning of third fold cross validation as stratified K-fold. Sometimes it's called K-fold. K is nothing but number of folds. Okay. So rest will do discussion tomorrow. Your task is you can go through with the documents and see what is the estimator. Okay. Right. That's why we are using GridsearchCV. Automatically tuning will be adjusted. That means nothing but our parameter will be automatically set. Tomorrow we'll see rest. Tomorrow I will start a logistic regression. Tomorrow I will do that. I'm little hurry. I have to go somewhere. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.